here I am at My Pet Naturally with my good friend Pam Holt, who is a certified vet tech, but also a certified pet masseuse. Now, I know what you're saying, Warren, a pet masseuse. Quite honestly, Pam, I'd rather be where the dog is right now. But the same benefits that massaging people works for our pets as well. We're going to talk to Pam specifically about some of the physiological benefits, but as a behaviorist, the psychological benefits are absolutely amazing. First of all, you can see we just started 2 seconds ago and the dog's already in a state of nirvana here. All we need is a little aromatherapy candle and Enya playing in the background, Pam, to put this dog in the perfect state. Now, how long have you been massaging dogs as a profession?
I've been massaging dogs for over 7 years now.
And what made you decide that? Was it touching your own dogs where you saw the feeling that they got, the benefits of it, or?
Well, yeah, as soon as I heard the term animal massage, I knew that's what I wanted to do. I have a girlfriend that does people massage, and I've benefited from her wonderful massages for years, so I knew how beneficial it was, and it's absolutely the best job in the whole world.
I bet it would be, right? And the dogs absolutely fall in love with you, don't they?
I hope so.
So now here's the big question. I know that when people get a massage, the benefits are that it really increases the blood circulation and gets the, it helps with the muscles. What about dogs? I mean, what are the physiological benefits about touching? I'm a big fan of touching animals, I don't give them biscuits when they do something right. I've yet to see one dog give another dog a biscuit when they do something right. So I'm a big fan of touching. What do you find when you touch the dog that really makes a difference in terms of their physical feeling?
Oh yes, well, touch is so wonderful mentally and of course physically. The benefits are endless. It positively affects every system in the body. So the circulation, that heals injuries faster and it prevents injuries, and as far as for their well-being and body awareness, you can't beat it.
But even from a circulatory benefit, it really helps.
It really does.
I don't want to get too spiritual here, but there really is such a thing as the yin and the yang. And I have literally seen dogs that have been maybe a little temperamental, or dogs that are a little depressed, anxiety, and neurotic, where just the touch of someone like yourself, or even an owner that's massaging the dog really benefits. If I knew nothing about dog massage, if I was one of our viewers out there, how would you go about starting a massage? First, obviously, you'd introduce yourself. Hi, dog, I'm so-and-so. But after that, what would you do?
Well, you gently place both your hands on the animal and just kind of do what we call effleurage strokes first, and you start slowly. And you kind of use this opportunity to feel if you feel any areas of tension or knots or swelling.
So you can actually, with your hands, feel if there's like a maybe tension here, or do dogs hold tension in their necks the way people would?
They definitely do. They hold tension in their necks, in their jaw, their shoulder, their hip area. All the joints are good areas to work. But yeah, same as us.
So then every dog, every single dog, and every single cat for that matter, would really benefit from a good massage. But are there specifics? For example, I'm a big fan of massaging young puppies. And the reason for that is you want to get them so comfortable about being touched all over their body in different areas.
That's right.
Usually people, when they get a puppy, it's leave me alone, get out of here, don't bother me. But if you massage them, it gives you that private time to really establish that bond.
Oh, it really does help increase your bond with your animal for sure, and it helps with their socialization and everything. It'll help them, get more used to being touched at the vet and groomer and things like that.
So in other words, if you're massaging your dog, you take your dog to the vet and the vet goes here and the dog puts his leg, but if you get a dog used to being massaged, you can open their leg or open their mouth and just make it so much easier to examine them.
Exactly.
Now, what about, we were joking before, and I was talking about aromatherapy. Now, I am a big believer in aromatherapy for pets because their sense of smell is so much better than ours. Do you use aromatherapy from time to time when you're massaging?
I do. I use candles safely away from wagging tails, and I love lavender. That's wonderful for relaxation, but they are so, sensitive with their smell that it is a big factor.
And it's interesting because one of the most difficult parts, a lot of dogs don't enjoy having their legs touched. For some reason, their legs. So massaging their legs, again, gives you the opportunity to let the dog know that only positive things are going to happen with touch.
That's right.
Okay, so we talked about puppies. What about older dogs? I am absolutely adamant about massaging older dogs at least 3 times a week. And it's not because I just want him to feel so good, which is part of it, but I really want you with the older, or the senior, or the, what's the new term, the politically correct term is chronologically challenged pets. So if you take a dog like this, and let's assume he was maybe 10 or 12 years old, by massaging him every day, it really gives you the benefits of finding out any tender areas, sore areas, hip problems, or even lumps and bumps that may be nothing now but can be treated before they do become something.
Yes, it's so important to know what's normal on your animal. That way you can more quickly find something that's abnormal. So that is a great thing. And yeah, senior animals, they need their joints lubricated, with the massage and stretching, and that really helps their flexibility.
Now, do you show the owners, I mean, you do it professionally, and you come to people's homes, and I even understand that they can get a tandem massage, their dog and themselves can get massaged at the same time,
Yes.
which sounds like an ideal day to me.
That's right.
But the bottom line is that, so there, every benefit from massage that we receive, our pets receive at the same time.
Exactly.
I'm going to back out of your way a little bit. I want them to show, but let's assume you were doing a little massage on this guy. I want you to show exactly what you would be doing. Now, would you be
Okay.
talking to the dog at the same time?
Yes, you want to talk gently and reassuringly to them, and kind of control your breathing, keep it slow and relaxed. And
So keeping your breathing slow and relaxed and your attitude can make all the difference as well.
Definitely, yes. You really kind of get in tune with them, and you want to operate on their feedback, if positive or negative. So you really have to tap into what they're feeling. So you want me to
Yeah, man, just
briefly-
massage away. And I'll be talking at the same time. Another thing that I find interesting at the same time is when you're massaging your dog, they're just like really going to this state of absolute bliss. It's like they just enjoy it so much. And as we talked about, we could find out if there's any sore points. We could find out if there's any mats. Sometimes a dog's hair will get matted and you won't even know it because the mat is underneath the top coat.
Right.
And people don't realize that those little mats and knots can get tighter and tighter over time and cause sores. So every time you touch and massage the dog, you're learning. Now here's the bigger question. Obviously, this guy is absolutely in love with what you're doing. I mean, I don't think he would move for a year and a half if you stayed there, Pam. But the bigger question is, how does it make you feel? I mean, now you're a professional, but let's say someone like myself was not a professional dog masseuse. I've had a lot of hats in my career. That was not one of them. I know from my studies in behavior that not only is the touch of me touching the dog good for the dog, but it's actually doing something for me too. It's like lowering blood pressure and
It
other
does,
things.
yeah. It positively affects our immune system, lowers our blood pressure, and of course we talked about strengthening the bond. But there's, the benefits are endless for the masseuse also. So.
And we know that alleviating stress in the dog is also important for supporting the dog's immune system, which a lot of people don't realize that the same chemicals that we're exposed to, the same toxins that we're exposed to affect our pets. Now, after you do a good doggy massage, because you're really getting everything moving around, is it a good idea to give the dog a lot of water like people should have after a massage as well?
Yes, you should offer them fresh water before and after, because you want to flush out those toxins that you're loosening up, moving through the system. Yeah, it's very important.
Hasn't moved since you started. Am I next? That's all I want to know. Am I next?
Yeah, this is Zooch,
Yeah.
by the way. He's wonderful. Yeah, he's making me look good.
Look at him. He's about ready to roll over. He's about ready to give you a kiss. And quite honestly, if you keep massaging him, you may have a date tonight. He's looking at you that way anytime.
The lucky girl.
He's just an incredible dog. But now, what about little dogs? Now, we're massaging. He's a big guy. He's a good size. And what with a little dog? Is it possible that you could be too hard with your hands and hurt them a little bit?
Well, yes, but
I notice you're not really doing this.
yeah, you have
You
to
know?
start out with these long effleurage strokes to warm up the tissues before you start the deeper work, or the muscle could have a protective reflex, which you don't want to, do that. You want to make sure everything's warmed up, and that goes for stretches too. You have to have the muscles warmed up before you stretch them out.
So a typical doggy massage would run about how long?
For Zooch, he could get 90 minutes, but most of them are an hour. The smaller dogs are about a half hour.
And the smaller dogs, you find like it just as much as the big. What about cats?
The cats love it. My kitty massages are usually about at least a half hour, and they'll sit there and
just enjoy
love it. They really do. People are surprised, but they absolutely love massage.
So if you had to kind of narrow it down, and let's say you were on the radio show with me, and I asked you this question I have. if someone were to say, you know, Warren, come on, you know, you're a little eccentric, and some people do say that, Pam. I've never massaged my dog. I've never thought about massaging my dog. I think you're absolutely crazy massaging your dog. You're treating your dog. So what would you say to them? What would you say in terms of knock it off, massage your dog? What would be the number one answer for these people to convince them that what we're doing is so critical?
Well, I would tell them to get a massage and ask them how much they think it benefits them. I mean, it's just as beneficial for animals, and people can usually see the difference afterwards. But
yeah, I'm watching it right now. I'm trying to think, is it real or is it Memorex? I'm looking at this dog here till he moved his feet. He is absolutely enjoying this. So if people want to get massages, I mean, a lot of people watching this are from all different parts of the country and Canada. And now I know you're in Los Angeles, so in other words, Buddha Dog Massage in Los Angeles is where Pam can be reached. But what if someone lives in, let's say, Iowa or Detroit or New York City? Are there professional pet masseuses all around the country, or is this something that we're more apt to find in Southern California?
No, they're all over. Yeah, you'd be surprised at how many you find. When I started, there was just a few in LA. Now they're all over. Yeah, it's becoming a very popular profession.
Now, I was reading on your website, Pam, that you do Reiki. Now, I have no idea what Reiki is, and I can't pronounce it, but is it a form of massage?
No, it's what you would call energy work. It's kind of like bless you. It's a form of Japanese healing where the energy comes through the practitioner's hands, but
so
you don't even have
touch.
to touch them.
Okay.
I mean, I do, because I just kind of get the Reiki energy flowing at the beginning of the session. But if I was doing just Reiki, I could be across the room, and the energy flows through the practitioner's hands with Reiki, and it's ideal for animals because they only take what they want or need. It can do no harm. So I think it's just a wonderful.
So if someone out there in our viewing audience, if someone out there says, you know what, that woman Pam, she has it down pat. Listen, she plays with dogs all day long. She massages dogs and cats all day long, and she makes a living. What if someone wanted to be a pet masseuse? What would be the best way for someone to actually get started?
Well, there are schools. There are massage schools that have animal programs, or there are schools that are dedicated just to animal massage. There are distance learning programs that you might just go a few days for hands-on, but if you could get a hands-on, you want to definitely do that. But the important thing is just to keep your hands on animals and
just keep doing it.
Yeah, because with every dog or cat you work with, you learn something.
Now, what about acupressure? Is that part of what you do as well?
It is. It's a huge part of what I do. Yeah, it's acupressure can be thought of like acupuncture without needles. It's based on the traditional Chinese medicine system of meridians, the energy pathways in the body, and the acupressure points lie along these meridians. And even by massaging, you're stimulating those points. But I do the fingertip pressure or the circular pressure, and I do T-touch too, Tellington touch, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
Even before Tellington came out, I was talking about the importance of touch in my first book, and I've always been such a believer in the concept of touch. But it's interesting to me that the acupressure really makes a big difference, because lots of times dogs are suffering with little arthritis, or they may be suffering with digestive disease, and I know to a lot of people it sounds a little way out. You don't even have to touch, but just sometimes by touching, the feeling, the good feeling comes back.
Oh yeah. Well, even just the lightest massage releases endorphins, the body's natural pain reliever. So yeah, that's just the lightest.
So we massage the dog. The dog is doing absolutely good, and you did promise me I would be next. But before we get to that point, what I want to find out is, what do you generally do after a massage? I mean, some people, my assumption is I let the dog run up and jump, but I know that after a human massage, most people want to kind of sit back a little bit and relax. Is that something the dog should do after a massage as well?
Yeah, a lot of them will actually fall asleep, and I don't like to disturb them, but it's a good idea for them to get up and kind of balance themselves out a little bit with maybe a short walk, because they will likely have to go to the bathroom. They'll have to urinate. So.
And we were joking earlier. We know that the aromatherapy really can make all the difference in the world. What about the concept? Now, I was joking about Enya. What about the concept of music? I mean, I know that when I play music to my dogs, they absolutely enjoy it. And I find that music relaxes, but I also find that the type of music he uses are all dependent on what the owner listens to more frequently, because the dog becomes associated with that.
Right.
So, do you use music as part of your massage therapy?
It's a huge part of my sessions, yes.
So in other words, there's absolutely no difference. If I was to come into Pam's studio today, or you were to come to my house, there'd be candles burning, there'd be Enya playing in the background, there'd be a dog being massaged, you would be feeling good, the dog would be feeling good, the dog would relax afterwards, I would pay my bill, and now I have a great dog that's comfortable and ready to go the rest of the week.
That's right.
And how often would you recommend a massage? I guess for an older dog, more frequently?
Yeah, some of my older clients I do twice a week, but most of them are once a week. And then someone that, someone that doesn't have that many problems, once a month's good. But I also recommend to people that they do a few minutes a day. That really, even just putting your hands on their muscles will warm them up. So before their walk, it's good to warm things up. And to, kind of do a little exam to make sure, there's not burrs in the feet or, things like that. It's just a good idea to keep your hands on your animals.
Okay, for you guys out there watching this right now, I want you to look at this dog. He has been here for at least the last 15 or 20 minutes. He is absolutely not moved. He is, well, I meditate with my dogs, and there's no doubt in my mind that this dog right now is not thinking about anything but, running in a field somewhere or having a good time. So I am a strong advocate of really massaging your pets. Now, for those people in the LA area, we're gonna put up Pam's Buddha's pet massage. We're going to put that up on our website. But for those people that live in other parts of the country or Canada, and you have an older dog or a younger dog or any dog or cat, start out touching gradually. Work with the pet every single day, and eventually the dog will so much enjoy being touched that when you go to the vet the next time, he's not going to be the type of dog that pulls away. He's actually going to say, okay, which is really going to benefit your vet in finding out. Plus the fact, that 50% of pets in this country are overweight. Sometimes we don't see it until you touch it. Then you can tell and get your dog in good shape. Pam, as always, thanks so much.
Thank you,
I am
Lauren.
next. I really mean that. I am next, guys. We'll be back soon.